Hello, LRB folks, Liberians to be exact. I just want to touch on something real quick. I've been seeing some things been going on in Liberia, like when it comes to development, infrastructure wise. I mean, Liberians are doing some pretty good things, like especially those from the diaspora going back home, and they're saying they're building their houses and all these things, which is pretty good. But there's something lacking, and people are not really talking about it or saying much about it, or sometimes people even ignore it. Both the diaspora and those back home, like in Liberia, I think it's something that we are taking for granted, and sometimes could lead into like probably conflict or bring about some division, which of course nobody want. I'm not praying for it, but this thing about city planning and infrastructural development is very key. Is a key issue when it comes to Liberia development. If we want to beautify our country, we want our country to be like the rest of the other African countries. Whenever we are carrying on certain development or building houses, we should please do our research very well, because all these things, regardless of where you're building your house, whether I don't know whether it could be Margibi, Marshall, or whichever county that may be. Whenever you are building a house or you buy a land, please, folks, these things have to be implemented. Like they have to be city planning, folks, because we can't just keep carrying on the same congested mentality to every county, especially those other counties and other places that have more space and space area for development and other things. Although if we carry the Monrovia mentality to those other places, we're just going to mess it up with this congestion that is in Monrovia. That even you can't even do anything. You can't carry certain development because the way the city is congested, and government is taking this thing for granted. So at least if you are carrying on certain development, if you are a Liberian who are into real estate or carrying on certain development or project or building your houses, please, these are things that need to be addressed. I don't know if some of you guys actually bring this discussion to the table, or the people ignore it, and you just decided to let it go and you just do your own thing. I don't know, because sometimes I feel like whenever other social or media platform, whenever they're having discussions, it's all about just politics. They don't address some of these issues. But this is a serious problem, because the lack of city planning is going to create chaos, and will bring a lot of problems. And we don't want more division in Liberia. We already had that in the past. All these things set us back. So some of us, we all are in the process of developing our country. We all want to go and do something back there. But when we see a mistake somewhere, we have to point it out. And it is one of these mistakes that is ongoing in Liberia. I don't think government have money to where they will have to go around compensating everybody in order to break down houses, to build roads. You see the kids with the highway they are building from Monrovia going all the way to the airport. Even it was another problem. Government had to break the houses down. They had to compensate people. All these things. So imagine with a country where the budget, and especially the country is not industrialized for more or taxes and all these things, where the budget is very low, and you allowing people to just build houses everywhere, anywhere they feel like. So how are you going to do things when it comes to, because Liberia is not going to be the same forever. Let's just admit it. Regardless of the challenges and all these things are going to change gradually. That's just the way it is. Nothing stay the same forever. So let's say, for example, you already, your hard-earned money, you are put all into your house, build a house, a very modern one, good one, and let's say a certain development is going on, especially road construction, and if your house is obstructing the way, or let's say in the way of certain development the government want to implement or carry on, they're going to have to break it down. So even though I don't know how it's going to be, maybe they might compensate you, which of course they have to, because it's your property. You already invested a whole lot into it. You have to get something back. But the problem here is the lack of city planning is going to create problem. I don't think government have money to do all to be compensating everybody, to everyone like that will be, because if you look at how the building the house, people are just building houses where you don't see road where cars, vehicles supposed to. People just make their own pathway and they going through other people. Yeah. What if this person build a house and build a fence and they block that entire area? How are you going to have to make another path again to walk beside that fence? And so people are just constructing, especially now they are taking the congested mentality, they're taking it to Marshall, which is a new development area that is ongoing. Everybody is building houses in those places, and you don't see any city planning. If you look at the view of Monrovia, sometimes people watch other people YouTube videos. Sometimes they do a drone video. When you see it's beautiful, it's nice, but on the ground you see the lack of city planning. People are just putting houses everywhere, all in the sake of development, I'm building my house. I don't have problem with that. Yeah, it's all they want big. But if you are just building house anyhow, you feel like that is not development. It looks like a slum when you look at the view on the ground. I mean, the natural scenery is beautiful, but when you look at the houses, how it's constructed, I don't care how modern it is, it still looks like it's like you are in a slum. That's how it looks like. Except for those who are into real estate and carrying on some few little ideas, and the house, the way they are constructing it is well planned. But sometimes too, they put it in fence, which of course, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. That's their property sometimes because of security reason. But these high fences and all these things, it's like a slum. It's not development, because the architecture of that building or the architecture of that it's supposed to help to beautify the area whenever you are in places like that. But all these things are lacking. You hear, sometimes you hear there's ministry of this or agency of this, but they are not implementing anything. They're supposed to be one of the main work of public work, the Ministry of Public Works, and those are into the house Liberian, I think, housing authority. When it comes lands and mines and all these things, there should be a do's and don'ts of Liberia, people. You can't just come and do anything anyhow in the street and just get away with it because we say, oh, it's a free land, or I don't know, people say liberty or whatever that is. It's nonsense. There should be a do's and don'ts of Liberia. There are certain things you can do and certain things you can't do. It's not human right abuse. Not everything we should look at it as a human right abuse. Look at the case of the marketeers. They build them a modern market hall. They refuse to go in it. They are all over in the street. If you try to enforce the law on them, they say, oh, human right abuse. So it's the same thing with the housing construction and development. How are we going to develop the country? Must everything be a pre-war status? That backward mentality? I always say, look around you. I don't know what people do. I don't know what people really do with social media in Liberia. I don't know, they are just on Facebook talking politics 24/7. I always say, make use of the little internet we have in Liberia. Look around you look at other African cities. You know, you can learn a thing or two from one, 1 something from them. You want to carry on certain development, look around, do some research, folks. If we are just building everywhere, putting houses here and there, what kind of, it's not helping to even beautify the place. There should be a law, and these things have to be in place. When you buy a land or you're building a house, there should be a place and how they should demarcate the area or the land, so that the house can be constructed in a way that so that certain space or certain, there should be a part where certain places can be blocked, so that when there's a certain development from the government or road construction, they can just carry on that whatever they're doing, and that house is not touched, or those houses are not touched, and it can be left. That helps to give the free movement of people, and especially the congestion and all those things can go away. Like the free movement, that traffic jam, all people, all everything, all these things can go, because because the city is planned. When you have such things with this, when the city is planned, the free movement of people can help to ease the congestion. You understand what I'm saying? Damn it. This is 2023, people. Let's look around us. That's why sometimes, because when the place is so crowded, there's no free flow of air. People say, complain, oh, it's too hot, it's this, because the place is heavily congested. And people are deciding to build outside of Monrovia and go other places with their development. It's good, but they're carrying the same Monrovia mentality over there. They're not changing the thing. Those new area that you are going on, carrying on development, that should be the game changer, where you have to set example of doing something different from Monrovia, which is heavily crowded with different things, will be all kinds of whatever you want to call it is over there. Man, people, this is time. Look around, and let's look around our fellow, look at our fellow Africans. See cities: Dakar, Mozambique, Maputo, Luanda. See Rwanda. When we carry on this development, let's look at our fellow Africans. We don't let's forget about these European and other big picture. Let's just look at people that look like us. How they are carrying on that development. We can get some ideas from them, people. And you don't just be so excited about building a house, but you are building a house, but look at where you are building a house. Oh, I'm building my house. Oh, I'm building this. Yes, it's nice, but look, what kind of, when you buy the land, what kind do you people actually and bring these ideas to the people, or I don't know if people are tired talking about it, or maybe what I'm saying, I'm sure you guys are aware of it, but maybe I come to a point where you people are even tired too, and say whatever. This is Liberia. I don't know. It's shameful, man. It's shameful. It's going to bring a serious problem, and it's not something to take for granted. Especially when it comes to land business. You all know how it is. People will have to wake up, man. Liberia is a country, we should run it as a country. It's not a banana republic where people can just come and just do anything. And we as Liberians, or people, if we really want to change, these are some of the changes that we have to accept. City planning is very important, people. I don't want this video to be too long. Sometimes I don't even know how to explain myself, because it hurt, man. It hurt so bad. Sometimes when I watch these YouTubers, Liberian YouTubers, I'm not criticizing, and they're showing good things of Liberia, but they when you watch the video and watch other African YouTuber videos, The lack of city planning is something. It's just, it's like people. It's like people are just so comfortable with it, and people don't really address it. Like the way they talk about politics on other social media platforms, like focus on Liberia. All they just all they do is just politics, politics, politics. People, please, man. Let's wake up, man. Politics is not everything, man. It's about time. We can do better. This thing about normal day, let's forget that thing, man. This is a new thing. We were nowhere, and it's time for us to do better. Let's do better. I don't know, man. If you watch this video, please, folks, I'm not better than anyone. This is just a common Liberian man. As a young Liberian man, I'm just trying to address some of the errors that we are ignoring in Liberia. Just want something I just want to try. I'm just trying to point out here. Because if somebody don't speak about this thing, I don't know who else will. So I just have to say it. Thank you all. Blessed to everyone.